this unexpected event led Dr. Morton, the director of Sheepdog Project, to D. Brown, the storyteller's office. I'm going to call him D in future. This event almost evolved into a diplomatic nightmare between US and Turkey. Dr. Morton asked D, who was the research librarian at the time, to find information about tapeworm in Middle East. D quickly found an old journal article featuring this worm, proving his value, while looking a cobra-like worm in the picture and the underlying small prints. Dr. Morton murmured to himself, "If the Turks know that we're going to kill one of their dogs, they will be very upset." This is how D got to know the top-secret Federal Sheepdog Project. During the physical examination of the 2 Turkish dogs, the female was found infected with tapeworms. She should be euthanized based on official procedure. However, this could cause diplomatic tensions. Turkey is an important ally. If US get involved in the war, it is even more critical to secure the relationship between the 2 countries. Relationship between the countries is also relationship between officials in each country. Keep the Turkish ambassador happy is very important at this sensitive time. Isolate the female was almost impossible, as she was found pregnant. Fortunately, Dr. Morton had connections with many universities and research institutions. Soon, an out-of-state chemist showed up. Along with him, medications he just developed. As the last attempt to solve the problem, the experimental drug was given to the dog. Thank goodness. She restored her health after taking the meds. A formal gala was organized to celebrate the official admission of Turkish dogs to the federal program. Major media showed up at the occasion. Turkish ambassador announced the strengthening of diplomatic ties due to the collaboration in the sheepdog research program. One early morning, D went to the kennel to see these dogs. A long line has already formed outside the kennel. He noticed a heavy-duty fence fixed over the original fence, but the double fence seems still not strong enough, as whoever saw these dogs all involuntarily stepped back. When D finally saw these dogs, he was struck by their appearances. They are as big as little horses. Their fur color is dull gray. The tails are like bushes and the head like a wolf. Their pads are as big as dinner plate. D must be exaggerating here. Pure's pad is much smaller. This is a comparison of my feet and Pure's pad. Maybe Lion's pad is about that size. Need real-time comparison. The Turkish dog kennel eventually quieted down after people exhausted their curiosity. But With the arrival of 12 puppies, activities on both sides of the fence increased dramatically. When Dee saw these 12 little giants, they already started walking around with pets as big as saucer. Pure is fully grown. His pet is smaller than the saucer. Writers are really good at dramatize. The space in the kennel became increasingly congested. When puppies are feeding, they're like monstrous worms, rolling and crawling over each other, as well as fighting and biting. There is no hierarchy or the feeding order. Civil war breaks out all the time. Vets are busy patching up wounded ones. Once they recover, they join the fight once again. Peace seems impossible. As they grew bigger, their kennel must be expanded. Other dog members of the project are forced to move to the sheep place, and the sheep must get more intimate with each other. Because of the overpopulation, all dogs and human caregivers became increasingly irritated. Few weeks later, the chief vet showed up in the library. He needed help finding dogs' nutritional requirements. After careful calculation, the vet found that the 12 puppies are eating the amount of food of all other breeds combined. By the end of the month, they will run out of dog food for this year. And there are still a few months left. Emergency funds will not be available, as there is a freeze on all government funding due to the war in Europe. Some money for sheep research has been used to buy dog food. Dogs definitely have higher status than sheep. Not only take over space, but also money. One day, Dr. Morton complained to Dee, "You librarians are so lucky. Look at these books you manage. They don't eat and poop, never get sick, always stay in put. When you have no space, just pile them up. No problem." Not long after the complaining, Dee heard that dysentery break out in Border Collie's kennel. Lack of nutrition and overpopulation are the breeding ground for epidemics. However, these germs had no impact on the Turkish dogs. 12 puppies continue growing and thriving. When the disasters are looming in the sheepdog project, U.S. suddenly entered World War II. Secretary Wallace spent all his time and energy in the emergency food program, crucial for the war effort. All citizens are mobilized. Lick the plate after meal. Grow a garden if you have land. Can veggies for future use. These practices are hard to imagine by Americans nowadays. Since Secretary Wallace only focused on human food, dog food became the sole responsibility of Dr. Morton and his boss. They quickly decided to sell Turkish dogs as government surplus in order to save the entire sheepdog project. As the starvation of the dogs was on the horizon, the auction was quickly and quietly organized. On the day of the auction, Dee waited hopefully near the kennel. He felt great relief when people wearing cowboy hats started showing up. Driven by curiosity, he followed behind few farmers from Maryland. When these farmers saw the 14 dogs behind the double fence, their eyes are as big as pancake. From the conversation, Dee concluded that the last thing in the world these farmers want to see is to have these dogs within 10 miles of their sheep. These intimidating dogs do not seem to protect the sheep, but to eat them. Sure enough, the auction is a total failure. Soon after, Dee joined the army and was totally absorbed in the human affairs. Due to the vivid memory of these dogs, he tried to find out what's going on with them after the end of the war. Many things has changed in the government after the war. He finally managed to find one of the former kennel workers. He learned that the sheepdog project is terminated. The facility has been transformed into a military dog training program. Not long after Dee joined the army, a guy from Virgin Islands took all 14 dogs with a big truck. Everyone in the sheepdog project is overjoyed with the disappearance of these troublemakers. Nobody ever thought to ask the guy what he's going to do with these dogs. After Dee learned the dog's destination, whenever he read or heard about Virgin Islands, his mind pictured not a tropical paradise with palm trees, sandy beaches, and white waves crashing into each other at the backdrop of blue ocean and sky. Instead, it is 14 huge Turkish sheepdogs with their hungry kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids roaming in the lush tropical forest and wrestling on the white sand, as well as keeping the family line going strong.